Hey guys, Casey here. Welcome back to Lions Den Investments and Reviews. In today's video, I just wanted to go over a little bit of technical analysis on where we are with chainlink, and then what we're going to do is cover some articles. A lot of news coming out right now in the crypto market. Quite frankly, it's a little hard to keep up with. So I'm just going to show you a few things that I captured over the last night. With articles that were coming out, and just kind of give you an overall picture of where the macro sentiment of the market is right now. So getting in today's video, let's go ahead and start with Chainlink here on technical analysis. Now, right now, we broke outside this resistance line. We're on a daily chart, okay, and the video that I shot previously on this was last week, but basically we got rejected up here at resistance around 31.95, and we started getting rejected and coming down and retesting this downward trend right here as well. So we had some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good solid days of downtrend price action on Chainlink, and I said we were going to form a higher low, or that we were, and then I expected us to break resistance and go back up. That's exactly what we did on Chainlink. And as you can see here, we got a good push of volume coming in yesterday on Chainlink. And if I scroll down a little bit, you can see this downward trend, the trend line here on the volume. Okay, and I was telling you I was looking for the wave of volume to as it's decreasing like this, and it's getting tighter and tighter. Eventually, it's going to pop, and you're going to get volume pushing above that line. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. You can see right here the green volume that came in of buyers actually punched through resistance, which is a good sign of things to come, because we found, if we scroll back up here, this is where I bought in, was around $30.58. So we kind of topped over that. If we go to a 4-hour chart, it kind of give you a better representation of where we are, finding support. So if you took this line up here, and we'll just move it down for now, you can see we got back here different pivot points, and that's where the price goes up and then comes back down, or it goes down and then it comes back up. That's what they call a pivot point. So you've got multiple pivot points back here. Okay, you've got one right there, you've got another right here, and then so you can see we kind of punched through that on the 4-hour. We went up to about 31, 39, and now we're coming back down, and you've got the support right here. We dropped down below it a little bit, but if you see, we're actually above that support, and I would say that's a really good sign, because if you get support here and you're starting to kind of bottom out and find support level, we should head higher. All right, and then my next level would be up here around, again, 31.89. We got to retest that. And then of course we've got the resistance at 32.03. Okay, so if we can punch through 32.03 here soon, and really we don't have any resistance per se between $30.02 and on up to 31.89 or $32. We really don't have any resistance in between there, so we should be able to retest at least 32. And I'm looking for us to break resistance there, because if we do there, well, if we go back here, you've got resistance at 35.81, okay, which was basically where our all-time highs were. I don't know if I said that this was the all-time high, just in the last couple of minutes, but if I did, I was wrong. It's actually 35. Actually, let's see here, 36.91 was the all-time high. But I normally don't count these wicks on the candles up here. I'll just go off of where the price closed for the day. So that being said, I'd be looking at 35.85 as an all-time high. Let's go back out to the daily though, because on the daily we had this. We still are in an upward ascending channel. Okay, as you can see there. So we haven't broken below that, which is really good, because that means your trend is still up long term. And I've got a price projection. If we break above 35 here, whenever that might be. I can't give you the exact date because nobody knows, but if we break through that, I'm calling a price target of about $44.96 or $45. You might be wondering how I'm getting that price target. Well, what I did is I just took this triangle right here, okay? So you got that first downward trend triangle, and you pull it all the way down to the very bottom there, and then start from where you'd be shooting up and price range of like where you bought, okay? Now I moved it down just a little because if you look, it's actually at 47.24. I always pull it down a little bit by a couple dollars just to play it safe because you may not hit $47. So that's where I'm getting that price target from. So that's chainlink right now on MACD for the daily. You can see we're getting pretty tight in the strength. The RSI here is following the upward trend. Okay, so if I just remove that line, that red line, you can see we're just following that nice and slowly and gradually moving higher. So there's a lot of room to run on the RSI from where we are at 52.86 before we get back up into overbought territory. So I'm expecting more volume to come in, especially because of the news that I was talking about with stimulus checks coming in. If you haven't seen the last previous video, just subscribe to the channel, or you can click somewhere in the top of the video here. And that will take you back to the last video, which I shot on, I believe, Tuesday, where I was talking about, money coming into the crypto market through these stimulus checks. And we were talking about support on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and where people were talking about where they believe that the support and the bottom is in for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and those prices are going to go much higher. Well, here's more articles coming out talking about Ethereum bulls are enticed by the 1750 support level and lack of ETH liquidations. So even in the event with the EIP 1559 and the merger between proof of work and switching over into proof of stake on the actual blockchain itself, even amongst all that, you still got a lot of people that are not liquidating their Ethereum. So they're holding on to it because they see the long-term value in this technology or the underlying asset within Ethereum. All right. I'll leave a link in the description for this article because I'm not going to go over the articles. I don't want to bore you with reading too much. We'd be here all day. Here's another one, though. Bulls favored ahead of a record $6.1 billion Bitcoin options expiration on March 26th. Okay, now I'll cover a little bit more on this one here. What does that mean? They're saying up to 6.1 billion worth of Bitcoin options are set to expire on March 26th, but derivatives data suggests the expiration favors bullish traders. Okay, so these expiration dates over the past 2 months, the open interest on Bitcoin options increased by 60%. To reach 13.5 billion as the Bitcoin price rose to new all-time highs. The result of Bitcoin's price appreciation and the rising options open interest resulted in a potentially historic 6.1 billion expiration set for March 26th. Most exchanges offer monthly exposures, although a few also hold weekly options for short-term contracts. Okay, so they've got a chart here looking at January 29th of 2020, and that was when we had the largest expiration on record as 3.5 billion worth of options contracts expired. The figure represented 36% of all open interest at that time. And what happened to Bitcoin, from January into February and even into like early March, the price went up significantly. The above data here shows that Bitcoin's March 26th expiration holds 100,400 Bitcoin. That unusual concentration translates to 45% of its contracts set to expire in 11 days from now. They said it is worth noting that not every option will trade at expiration, as some of those strikes now sound unreasonable, especially considering there are less than 2 weeks left. So Then they go in here, they talk about call to put ratio is unbalanced. Guys, what they're talking about is options contracts. So you have something called a call, and then you have something called a put. And the call option is betting that the price is going to go up, and then they set a price in which they think that price, the price of Bitcoin is going to hit. So like if I were to make a call on Bitcoin, I might say that Bitcoin's going to hit 60,000, and then I set a time frame for when I think that's going to hit. If it doesn't hit that price, I lose the bet. Okay, and if it's on its way up, and it expires, so that's what they're talking about is this expiration date. If it doesn't hit my price within that expiration date, I lose the bet. So sometimes what you'll get is people go ahead with their expiration dates, and if they know they're going to lose, they'll just go ahead and take their loss. Same with puts. Puts are when you're betting that the price is going to go down within a certain time frame. Okay, and it works the same way as the call. So you got expiration dates, and if it doesn't hit that price within an expiration date, you actually have to, at least in stocks, you have to buy those shares of that company. So I'm guessing you probably have to buy the tokens as well. If it expires and it doesn't hit that price. So they're saying it's unbalanced. To understand how these competing forces are balanced, one should compare the calls and put options size at each expiration price strike. Options markets are all or none, meaning they either have value or become worthless if trading above the call strike price, or the opposite for put option holders. Kind of confusing, so I'll just leave it at that. But basically, people are betting that the price of Bitcoin is going to go down right now, and you got more of those than you do calls, and those expire. They're going to have to come in and buy up Bitcoin because they lost their bet. And what that does is it just, gives another major support level on Bitcoin, and then the price of Bitcoin continues going higher. But they're saying the bulls are favored in this, so that's essentially what I think is taking place here. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. You'll have to read over the article a little bit more in detail. But let's go to the next article here. Guys, here they're saying lawmakers introduced a bill to bring long-awaited crypto clarity in the U.S. Okay, and I think a lot of this has to revolve around the XRP and SEC case. I'm not following that, day in, day out like some people are, because this channel does not cover just one crypto. I try to cover the entire overall macro market sentiment for cryptos as a whole and kind of give you a bigger picture as to where we're heading. But if you want to know more about the XRP and the SEC case and what is taking place there, I can tell you this much, okay? If you look at some of the World Bank documents and you look at SWIFT's own documents and stuff like that, you're going to find within the ISO 20022, which is the engineering framework for cross-border payments, that you're going to find within that framework document, they lay out pretty much the plans and they give time frames on everything as far as like what countries or what agencies are going to roll out what. That being said, SWIFT has already placed a date on rolling out for their cross-border payment ledger system that they're going to use. They've already planned out a date of November of 2021. And from the World Bank document, I found an image here that I think is really interesting because it talks about central banks. And I just took a picture of it, so I don't know if you guys can see this clearly, but basically what they're talking about here is a single universal CBDC, which is your central bank digital coin, backed by a basket of currencies. Okay? A universal central bank digital coin. Now, what is it that you've heard before that sounds familiar to that? One world currency, possibly? I don't know, but if you look at the what they've got here, they're talking about the platform connectivity and interoperability, or the ledger basically, and that ledger underneath this CBDC exchange, which would make up that basket of currencies for a universal financial system, a one world system. The ledger that underlies that, the only technology that can do that is XRP. Okay, they've got instant payment and instant settlement of payment. Now, the other one that they're looking at is R3 Corda, which is basically the same when it comes to instant payments, lightning speed transactions, but it cannot settle the payments instantaneous. Okay, only XRP can do that, and they've proven it with MoneyGram. By the way, the partnership with XRP and MoneyGram, there's news out there about that as well. Like they've went ahead and canceled their partnership with MoneyGram. I would guess to venture, okay, and it's just a hunch. This is purely speculative. I could be completely wrong on this, but I would guess to venture that later on down the road, you're gonna see that partnership come back and play. Okay. If you guys think so, hit the like button, because if what you're seeing here is bullish and you're a lion like myself and you're not a sheep, you're understanding the bigger picture and you're knowing like what's taking place here, because there's so much coming at us so quick. It's very easy to miss stuff. So honestly, for me, I hold XRP. I'm an XRP investor. I'm in it for the long term on that. XRP is purely a gambling trade for me long term, because if you look at your odds with XRP, you're looking at probably like a 80 to 1 or 90 to 1 odds in your favor that the price is going to go much higher. All right, and I'm not going to put an actual price on XRP because I don't know how they're actually going to do that, but I have a feeling it's going to have to do with the overall market cap of the entire crypto industry and where Bitcoin is priced at right now. And they'll have to do something similar with XRP, because you're talking about SWIFT and the BIS, which is the Banking of International Settlements. They're going to oversee and facilitate these transactions, and that's within the documents from the World Economic Forum. Okay, if they're overseeing those facilitation of transactions and they're using the underlying ledger, you're talking about a market cap of well over $6 trillion. And right now, if you look at the crypto market cap, just for cryptos as a whole, we're at 1.8 trillion. So it's almost 4 times larger. So what do you think if they're going to use XRP? XRP would be in a market all by itself. What do you think they would have to value the price of XRP at? Because if you look at Bitcoin just on 2 trillion or almost 2 trillion, you're at 59,000 per token. So to give you an idea of like what price ranges they would have to revalue XRP at in order to make this all work for their universal exchange, you would need a price somewhere around there, I would imagine, just to handle the volume and the amount of money it's exchanging hands on a day-to-day basis. Last article here I want to talk about is a survey that unveils 72% of U.S. accredited investors are planning to invest in DeFi in 2021. Now, I kept telling you that Ethereum gave birth to the decentralized finance market, right? Well, if you got a lot of accredited investors who are, in order to be an accredited investor, you got to have like millions of dollars in order to play that game. Because a lot of these guys don't go through the exchanges like Coinbase or Pro.Coinbase. What they're doing is going through like Grayscale and traditional market hedge funds. So they have to have a lot of money to play the game. But you got 72% of U.S. accredited investors are planning to invest in DeFi in 2021. And with that money coming in on the decentralized finance, it also rides on the Ethereum network. So if you're bullish on Ethereum because of this news, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be covering much more as far as information coming out and on topics like this when it comes to these assets, these new assets, because that's what they are. It's completely new asset class, guys. But that's all I've got for today's video. If you like what you're hearing, again, subscribe to the channel. And if you're new to investing in cryptos, go over to my website, academyofcrypto.com. From there, I've got free courses that show you how to get involved with setting up an account on Coinbase, and then learning how to do your own withdrawals and transfers and deposits with certain tokens within the crypto market. So check it out. And like I said, guys, these markets are volatile. If you're a lion, hold on for dear life. Have strong hands because these guys are going to try to shake you out. And with that said, fear nothing, my friends. That's all I've got for today. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later.